This is the Hollywood Outsider, a weekly entertainment podcast where this week we are reviewing The Expendables 2. We're going to look at upcoming releases, including Lawless and The Possession. Our From the Outside In topic this week, we're going to look at what's coming up for the new TV season. We always have the latest in movie and TV news, our own trivia and Flashback DVD segments, including our contest winners this week. We have 2 contests. Our I'm a Ho t-shirts are available at thehollywoodoutsiders.com. You can subscribe on our site, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or anywhere you can find an RSS feed. We're also on RockfordCollegeRadio.com every Thursday from 4 to 6. With that, all of that, my name is Aaron Peterson, and I'll be your host. With me today are my co-host, Scott Clark.
I am forever trying to convince everybody that I am straight because of this podcast.
I am forever just wanting you to say, hey, how's it going, so we can move on. Justin McCumber.
I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm blackity black, and I'm black, y'all.
He's so Caucasian. And Brian Williams.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey!
Oh, man, that was a letdown after Scotty and I. Man. Can bring the thunder on that?
Thanks for bringing the professionalism, Brian, every week. We appreciate it.
Hey, 1 out of 4 ain't bad.
All right, let's just jump into movie news. It had to happen sooner or later. With the success of the Expendables 1 and 2, an all-female Expendables-style film is in the works with screenwriter Dutch Southern attached. Who they could get would be all speculation at this point.
Yeah, apparently this is being put together by some movie company that's co-financed movies like The Grey and Dread 3D, and it's designed, like you said, to be an all-females type of Expendables movie. Yeah, on the one hand, I'm really kind of pumped for this because I feel like for years, nay decades, women have really been given short shrift when it comes to action roles. They're either the person being saved or they're just the arm candy that gets carried around while our big, massive guy hero saves the day. But really over about the past 10 years, you've started to see a rise in female action stars. I mean, granted, Sigourney Weaver kind of really helped pave the road with Ripley in the Alien films, but with the Kill Bill movies, Uma Thurman, Linda Hamilton in the Alien films, Mila Jovovich in the Resident Evil films, Angelina Jolie, hell, even Summer Glau, Carrie-Anne Moss, all of these women would, I think, be excellent in a movie of this type. The only thing I don't want this movie to be is suddenly an excuse to have a bunch of shots of their, boobs and butts just kind of prancing around on a screen while things explode around them. I would like this to be about the strength of these women and not just what tight outfits. Granted, there will always be that lecherous side of me that would probably prefer that. But the higher-minded part of me would like to see women actually put together in a team to kick some ass and not be just about their beauty, but about, their ability to be strong and ruthless fucking killers.
I would like them to have extremely strong boyfriends or spouses or whatever that they have to save.
That's right. Their men have been kidnapped.
Exactly.
And now they got to do what they do best.
And they've been violated, abused. Locked in a dungeon.
Why they gotta be violated, man? Why you gotta take it there?
Why you taking it a bit far, don't you think?
I want to flip the entire coin. I want the whole coin flipped.
Jeez. I agree with Justin, about this not being about TNA, but I think the struggle with this is that with the Expendables, what worked is at least most of the actors in that were somewhat aging. You've got Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I was thinking back, trying to think of who I'd want to see in this movie, and I have a hard time thinking of any aging female actors that I think could still kick ass and take names. Everything that came to name was a younger actress like Scarlett Johansson or Kate Beckinsale.
I think Sigourney Weaver could still kick your ass.
Oh, absolutely. Sigourney Weaver and Linda Hamilton are like the 2 most prolific in that list. But
then you think of Helen Mirren in Red.
Yeah,
she's the last kicking, and she's an older chick. But I don't think this film has to be about the aging aspect of these people, but more the female aspect, and not in a sexual way, but just in a gender role twist kind of way.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like they're focusing strictly on older actresses. They're just focusing on actresses in general. Mm-hmm. So any actress, I think, current or past, could really fit in this kind of film. And it's a good idea as long as, like Justin said, they're not doing it for sheer
bikini shots.
Yeah, for cheap thrills.
One or two is fine.
For the most part, they made it work with the Charlie's Angels series.
They can even bring in Gina Carano, because that's a woman who could legitimately kick your ass off.
Kick it off?
Kick it off.
Quite literally.
Wow. And then kick it back on, and then kick it off again. It's too scary.
And then shove it in your face and show
that's
you
right.
what you...
Smell your butt. See, I kicked it off.
Bam.
Wow. All All right. Well, Bradley Cooper is apparently in talks to star in a new movie called Bad Blood and Trouble.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be kicking anybody's butts off in this, but I guess it's a 50s period piece. He's a detective in Miami, falls in love with a woman whose husband has been targeted by criminals. Not much really else to go on. There's, I guess the basic log line there is being kind of kept secret for now, but they're looking to get started on it sometime next year. But you got,
He looks like he could play a detective.
Yeah.
He's got that kind of look. Put a fedora on him, especially in Miami, or a wife beater or something. Yeah.
I would really like to see him in a period piece like that.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You've got such a crush.
I do. I do have a man crush on Bradley Cooper. Shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, we've talked about it before, but we kind of want to put it to bed. This is the last time we're going to bring it up until it's 100% actually in production because there's been so many ups and downs. Warner Brothers has dropped the planned Dark Tower series, and Ron Howard and Stephen King are still trying to shore up the money, but so far it's looking pretty much dead in the water.
It's like I said last time, don't want to hear shit till names are on papers.
Well, and we're going to do that from here on out. So
We're done.
done.
Yep.
Dead Tower.
Stick a fork in it.
Are you ready for the next step in theaters? Because 3D is coming without glasses. It's early, but it's real, and it's coming. There's an article on CNN explaining what the innovation is going to be, and it looks like this might be the next big thing.
Yeah, this sounds pretty cool. As far as the basic movie experience itself, there's not been a whole lot that's really made changes to it. You buy the ticket, you go sit down, you watch the movie. Surround sound really changed it, probably 30 years ago or so. But even with the invention of 3D, it's not really been that much of a difference in the experience. But with this type of 3D where you don't need the glasses, some of them they just don't fit right. They're uncomfortable, and nobody wants to just add more gear just to watch just to enjoy a movie. So I think this is great. The only thing that kind of worries me is initially when this comes out is the 3D in the theater, and then you kind of like it is now. You see a 3D movie, and then you go home, you watch it. A few months later, you watch it on your TV, and everything's in 3D, but it's not because you don't have a 3D TV, I guess.
Well, a lot of the technology is already there, apparently, but we just can't get it because theaters can't afford it because it is pretty expensive, the up conversion. And because the cameras, instead of, I guess how the setup is, now the camera's in the back of the theater and it shines to the forward of the screen. Well, for this to work, it actually has to come behind the screen for it to work. Kind of like, and this will make Scott happy because I'm mentioning a game, kind of like the 3DS. In terms of the 3DS, the projector is basically under the screen, so it projects up, where this projector has to be behind the screen and project out. That's how it works, and that's where the expense is going to come because they have to build the screens that can handle that, as well as the projectors and where are they going to put them because most screens are backed against the very back of their buildings, and there's a lot more to do in order to make this happen.
What about 3D TVs at home, though? Because those are all rear projected.
But those require glasses.
True, but I mean, if they're saying that one of the pieces of technology is a rear projection of the image, I mean, you kind of got that.
Well, I think it's more than just a projector. I don't think they have the technology to put it into a small box like that yet. From what I've seen, when I read about it, they have it for a large format because that's all they've been working on. They haven't worked on the small format, which they will. I'm sure they will at some point.
Wake me up when we have a holodeck.
Yeah,
it's coming.
I don't know, 3D doesn't excite any of us greatly. I think it's something that if there's a movie that we all absolutely have to go see, we pay the extra few bucks to see it in 3D. But having glasses that's 3D, while it does sound more attractive, all it's going to do is raise up the prices. The ticket price is already going up as it is, and anything that's going to make us pay an extra $5 or $6 for a glasses-free movie experience, I'm happy with my non-3D movies.
We'll just pay more for the popcorn.
Yeah. You know what I want them to do? Invent fat-free popcorn. Like, that tastes just as good. That's what I would prefer.
Well, fuck, man, if wishes were fishes, we'd all be casting nets, wouldn't we?
All right. Now some not so happy news, but we do want to mention it because we think it's important as fans of movies. Director Tony Scott, who's known for Top Gun, True Romance, Last Boy Scout, and a lot more, committed suicide this past week. Nobody really knows why, and we're not going to sit here and speculate because that's not why we're mentioning it. it's just sad to see a very entertaining director pass. Now he's not known for artistic films and that sort of thing. His brother Ridley is more in that vein. He's very much an entertaining director. It's a big loss. And also comedy legend Phyllis Diller, who also paved the way for a lot of female comedians, she also passed away this week. So it's been kind of a sad week.
Yeah, we obviously hate to see anybody in Hollywood go, no matter the height of their status. But with Tony Scott, you'd be hard-pressed to find a soul who hasn't seen Top Gun. And he's had his hand in several other thoroughly enjoyable movies, including more recently Unstoppable.
Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide.
Man on Fire.
Oh, God, that movie's good.
And he was even involved in A-Team and more recently The Gray. I mean, he's had his hand in a lot of really good movies.
As producer?
Right.
Yeah.
Producers, executive producers, some of them directed, that kind of thing. Aaron also mentioned True Romance, which, man, that's a must-see movie. If you haven't seen that one, I really like that one a lot. And although we may never know the details, it's still terrible to see someone leave us who's been such an influence on just fun cinema. Just movies that are so much fun to go see.
Yeah, I was just going to kind of reiterate that, just where a lot of his movies were just they are what the movie experience is really, for me, is what it's about. And that's that, you put the viewer in a area that he or she has never been before or doesn't know anything about, and really just makes it a fun ride. Unstoppable was just so much better than what I anticipated. And like you say, you've got The Last Boy Scout, Man on Fire, Top Gun.
I was joined the list Navy because of Top Gun.
Crimson Tide is just phenomenal. Like I say, it's just absolutely phenomenal. And this is really a huge loss. And I really feel for him. And I know everybody wishes the best for his family.
And I don't want to sell Phyllis Diller short. She did
absolutely
pave the way for a lot of female comedians. And we're obviously not taking anything away from her. We're not as familiar with her works. But I
remember the Bugaloos.
Yeah, but we do understand her.
At 95, she really wasn't doing a whole lot to be in the general public, the public eye. But you're absolutely right. She was absolutely hilarious, and even I've seen her on a few things in the last probably 5 years, and still just had it. She just seemed sharp as a tack, and that's
cutting wit. Yeah,
absolutely. So that's a sad loss. But at 95, I think she was 95 when she died.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty full life. So
it's a good life.
Good on her.
And my parting thoughts on Tony Scott is, if you listen to this podcast, we're not like a lot of podcasts where they're very artistic or they care about, how special the lighting is and how special the writing is. I mean, we're obviously for entertainment purposes, and that's exactly like they were iterating. That's exactly what Tony Scott was. So, favorite Tony Scott movie? Mine's The Last Boy Scout. Yours is True Romance?
I got to go with Top Gun. I mean, I love that movie.
Because it almost made Justin join the Navy? Is that why?
Almost made me really like volleyball.
Wait, what?
Dude.
That explains so much.
Too soon, man.
Justin's, yours, what, Top Gun?
Oh, God. I'd have to give it to Top Gun. That movie, I don't know how many times I've seen it, listened to that soundtrack.
Yep.
Jesus. I would have given anything to be a naval aviator after watching that movie.
And Brian?
Probably Top Gun, just because that's the one movie I've quoted way more than just about anything else he's done. So.
She feels the need, man.
God, the need for what?
For speed.
All right,
Ah, great balls of fire.
let's go to the whole mill where we talk about the latest in rumors.
All right, so we all like movie news, and every once in a while something is worth mentioning, even if it isn't close to a done deal or just maybe just a rumor. So remember, the stories that we talk about in this segment are not confirmed. This is just idle speculation. We've just got one this week. Jim Carrey is being courted for Kick-Ass 2. So this brings to light the question, is this a good move or is this just stunt casting? What do you think, Aaron?
Reminds me of the Riddler.
That's kind of what I thought a little bit.
I don't want to see him in it. I like Kick-Ass a lot. I'm looking forward to the sequel. I know Brian's really looking forward to it. I don't, because she's almost an adult. Easy. Don't start breathing.
I think he was sighing more at you.
No, I think he was excited.
No, I was pretty much sighing at you.
See, Brian and I, we're
That's right.
great
We got
minds
that.
think alike.
You guys should get your own podcast.
Got that southern telepathy going. I hear that sigh. I know what it means.
I don't want to see him in the movie. He takes away from a movie more than he's going to add to it. Because if you see it, all you see is Jim Carrey. You don't see whatever that character is supposed to be. I'm sorry, at this point in his career, he's Jim Carrey.
I don't agree. I really don't. If he brings his A game, whether it's like Man on the Moon, where I completely forgot I'm looking at Jim Carrey. For me, that was Andy Kaufman through that whole movie. Or you look at something like Eternal Sunshine. That, to me, was not Jim Carrey. That was his character. If he really brings something to it, I think he could do an amazing job. But if they do try and camp him up, then yeah, you're going to see the Riddler, you're going to see Ace Ventura. But the man is capable of amazing work if he's given the right material and the right director. I'm hoping that's the direction they want to take him. If he went like really dark or sinister, I think he could do a really good job.
I haven't seen anything to believe that.
To believe that he's versatile?
To believe that he's versatile at a dark character. No. I saw, what was the number movie?
13, the number 13?
No, was that what it was called?
Yeah.
Number 13?
Mm-hmm. Or 23, sorry.
23. See, I knew it wasn't 13. He was just okay. I'm sorry, I've seen him in several dark roles, with the exception of Sunshine, or Spotlight. God, I can't think today.
Eternal Sunshine.
Thank you. Line. With the exception of that one, no. I just don't buy him. I'm sorry. When I see him,
I didn't like Man on the Moon?
No, I didn't.
Oh, really? I like
God,
that.
That was awesome. You are fucking wrong once again. The haterade is getting drunk.
You got to remember, too, Kick-Ass is a little tongue-in-cheek, too. So it's not like they're going to give him a serious role in that movie.
He will fall over.
But to Aaron's point, it's. I don't know if he can do I don't think he can do tongue-in-cheek.
Right.
If he's tongue-in-cheek, he's The Mask.
And the thing is that they're going to, I could see it easily happening with this movie, what happened with Adam Sandler and Punch Drunk Love, where people come to see it for Jim Carrey as Ace Ventura or whatever.
That was so good, too.
And then they get something completely different. As much as I'd like to see that, I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed that they're not going to see that.
I don't know. I'm kind of for it, personally. I think if they do for him what they did to Nicolas Cage, made Nicolas Cage an interesting actor, then I think he'll be just about perfect for this movie.
Right now, it's time to kick a little hee-haw and go to Brian's Trailer Park.
Welcome to Brian's Trailer Park. Ladies, I got 2 words for you. Channing Tatum. Do you really need to know what the movie is about? The movie's called 10 Years. So just in case you are one of the 3 women who might still need a plot, basically, 10 years... the movie 10 Years follows a group of friends during their 10-year high school reunion, hence the name 10 Years.
Oh, thank you, Brian.
Yeah, I got
that
it.
When I was
I had to spell it out for Scott. So it's kind of got this almost a Notting Hill or Valentine's Day feel where you've got the ensemble cast and multiple storylines, but it's kind of got this umbrella story being that it revolves around the reunion and how people change, but really just basically kind of stay the same. And again, Scott, I know you love these ensemble rom-com type of movies. It's not really a rom. I don't think it's really a romantic comedy. I think it is more of a romantic drama with some comedy in it. But does this one do anything for you?
Well, you mentioned the movie Valentine's Day, and this does remind me a lot of that type of movie, or like New Year's Eve. Those ones that revolve around some type of special day, and they do it in a comedic fashion. But like you said, I enjoy these type of films. This isn't the kind of film that's going to reach any top 100 of any list, but it's very good for a one and done ride for me. It's a definite rental, but something I like to sit and watch on the couch under some blankets.
That sounds so disturbing.
On Sunday afternoon, these are kind of movies I like to kill 2 hours with. I have fun.
Curl up with some Ben and Jerry's and a good cry.
Yeah, exactly.
Channing Tatum actually, he looks different, doesn't he? Or older, more mature.
Well, he has that weird goatee.
Yes,
just doesn't fit him.
He looks really downtrodden and depressed, which I don't think we've seen.
Well, he's married. So,
and he's going to a reunion where he's going to see the love
of his life.
It was funny. Come on.
I hate these kind of movies, though. Oh, Valentine's Day, New Year's Day, these huge ensemble. Ugh, hate these films.
I will say the good thing about the ensemble cast in this one, though, is it's not totally the most beautiful people in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
You have people like, it's just in all due respect, but people like Justin Long and, a couple others. So it's not all Bradley Coopers and Ashton Kutcher and stuff like that. So
I will say that the when you're watching the trailer, I've watched these Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve trailers before, and I don't have any interest in any of those. They just look like something I don't want to see because it just looks like formula. This trailer looks interesting. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's because Channing Tatum's finally won me over with Magic Mike, you know.
Whoa. Bradley Cooper's going to get mad if he hears he got a new man crush. Start tone that down.
But the cast seemed kind of stellar. I really like what they were going with. It seemed genuine. The movie seems genuine. It doesn't seem like it's all just a bunch of formulas slapped together. You know what I mean? So I'm interested. I actually want to see it.
All right, cool. Well, you'll be interested to know then that it opens up on September 14th. Oh, let's see. Next up, we've got The Last Stand. Arnie is back in kick-ass mode with The Last Stand. Arnold plays a former LAPD narcotics officer who leaves Los Angeles after an operation went south and left him feeling all bad and stuff. So he ends up moving out of town to this little small border town. And when this wanted drug lord makes an escape from the feds, his path to Mexico runs through Sheriff Ray Owens' town. Owens reluctantly agrees to make his last stand to attempt to stop the runaway fugitive. Does this look good to anybody?
Hell yeah, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger shooting shit.
How long has it been?
I got to say, it actually does look pretty good. A lot of good action.
I think it looks cool. The guy's back in form. I wasn't convinced until I saw the Expendables. I'm like, all right, he can still do it. I buy it.
How long has it been since he's been in a leading role? Like 10 years?
Almost 10 years. It's been a while.
It is cool to see him back to his roots a little bit. Action-packed, lots of guns, lots of explosions. Perfect for a summer popcorn flick, but I'm not sure if I'm going to run out.
Yeah, I don't know. This trailer did not convince me at all. He looked, and I don't want to say he looked old as though it's a bad thing. The guy's old, and he's lived a pretty damn rough life, and so I don't want to hold that against him, but trying to play these roles doesn't do it for me. And again, he can't help where he was born, but it's so hard for me to imagine an Austrian being the sheriff of this town. It that's not worked for him in the past, but at least in the past he had the brawn and the action skills to kind of, all right, fuck it, I will ignore the fact that he is blatantly not really probably in a place where he should be because he's kicking heads. Now he's a little older. When he kicks a head, he fucking hurts himself. He's got to get a little Bengay on his leg, and I don't know. I'm really
pull his face up a little bit, a couple more notches.
You got to grab a rail and then kick.
Kind of reminded me of a more action-packed Walking Tall.
Oh,
I kind of got that vibe when I saw that trailer. Did you get that at all?
yeah, I did a little bit with like an 80-year-old Walking Tall.
Yeah.
I'll wait to hear reviews, but for right now, consider me unconvinced.
All right. Well, The Last Stand opens. Sorry, it's not a summer popcorn movie there, Scotty, but it does open January 18th of 2013. So check that out this winter. You can watch these trailers and those from some recent episodes at thehollywoodoutsider.com. If you got any thoughts or topic ideas, something you want us to talk about, you can hit us up on the Twitter at H_outsider. You can go to facebook.com/The Hollywood Outsider and click that like button, put us a little message on there. We usually respond to them as best as we can. You can also email us at feedback@thehollywoodoutsider.com, and be sure to go to thehollywoodoutsider.com and buy yourself and all of your folks a sweet-ass I'm a Ho t-shirt.
Last week, we had a Facebook Twitter contest, which actually we had quite a few entries. Michelle L., Tammy, TC, Ed, W, Sean, Catherine F, Chantel, Guitar Hero.
That's fucking awesome.
That is awesome. Princess Mandy, Paul S, Cam S, Rob R, and 76 Cheeky. So we are going to draw the winner.
All
Michelle
right.
L. Michelle L, you win. Congratulations. A t-shirt. One of those classy Amaho t-shirts that Brian was just talking about. I will be in touch with you to find out where you live.
That sounds creepy.
That doesn't sound scary at all.
He says it every week. You think they'd be used to it by now.
Hey, man, to find out where you live. No,
Yeah,
find out where I should send it. Maybe that's better.
Thanks, guys, for entering that contest. That was a really nice turnout and got the word out. We really appreciate it. We'll have another one of those here in the next few weeks, I think.
Stump the HO.
Stump the HO. Each week, One of our hosts poses a trivia question to the remaining hosts in an attempt to stump their fellow hoes. Ho stands for Hollywood outsider, not actual prostitutes. This week, it is Brian's turn. Brian, stump us hoes.
All right, we got a pretty straightforward question this week. As you know, we'll be talking about the Expendables 2, and one of the new people they brought this time around is Chuck Norris. So I got a pretty straightforward question about Chuck Norris. You know, he's been pretty around for a while, but how old is Chuck Norris?
Oh, shit.
60, 65, 70, or 75?
I thought he was 70.
God, he's immortal.
Yeah, he's immortal. I thought he was 73, actually, but I'll go with 75.
I'm answering whatever Aaron answers.
I honestly was gonna say 75 as well.
Okay, so we all say 75.
I'll say 75. Well, I'll let you know how right or wrong you assholes are.
Okay. I
Wow,
think
real
that's
nice, man.
We'll learn the answer to the question a little later in the show, so stick around. Right now, let's go to the big screen where we review any new releases. Now, every once in a while, we like to shake it up. So we decided we're going to bring the worst Stallone impersonator possible in here to explain exactly what the Expendables 2 is about. So, Bad Sly, take it away.
Hey, this is Sly here, coming to tell you about my new movie Expendables 2 and what's that about. Well, I got Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Jason Statham, Dolph Lundgren, Jet Li. I even got Jean-Claude Van Damme, right? You know what I mean? That's pretty cool, right? Adrian couldn't make it. She's dead. Also got Chuck Norris, worst actor to ever work in action movies. Got him. That's pretty cool. And we all get together and kind of blow some shit up, rub some Bengay on each other pretty good. And what's the plot? Right, but there's really no plot to it. I mean, it's, I wrote it. You know what I'm saying? So, basically, we're a group of guys that shoot people and go on. We're kind of like mercenaries. And Mr. Church, he kind of hired us from the last movie. You know what I mean? He's played by Bruce Willis. And we kind of burned him in the last movie. We crossed paths with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Things kind of go bad, and Van Damme, he takes it a little bit too far, pisses off my boys, and we get stuck on a revenge plot. And, Van Damme, he's looking for some plutonium and shit. And so things get crazy, and we go chase him down, you know what I mean? Get a big fight with Van Damme, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm Sylvester Stallone, but I know what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? So thanks for having me, and I hope you check out my new movie, Expendables 2, and back to you, Aaron and Brian.
What the hell was that?
Oh, Lord.
Justin doesn't even say anything.
No, he probably quit breathing.
That's actually good.
What?
I actually liked it. I'm about to start punching myself in the face. I actually liked it. I'm sorry.
Oh, I love Justin. This is staying in.
It's way better than your Matthew McConaughey. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, this is better.
Light years.
All right, well,
and pretending to be the actor, I think, is the way to go with that. Not just, I'm Aaron, and I'm going to see some lawbreakers out there.
Well, let's go into the story first, Brian, because Brian and I are the ones.
You didn't do Arnold, though.
Oh, I couldn't do Arnold for any length of time. Are you kidding me?
Brian tried it for just his name, and it was terrible.
Well, I've never heard of Southern Schwarzenegger. That's get to the chopper.
He's from Southern Austria.
Hasta la vista, y'all.
All right, well, first off, the story is completely straight out of the 80s. I mean, it's just revenge, plutonium, big arms, big explosions. That's it, literally. Check your brain at the door. Did you pretty much agree with that, Brian, or did you see it a little deeper than I did?
Well, I thought it was a very good exposition on the struggles. Yeah, whatever. Stallone basically says the whole plot in the preview. We hunt them, we find them, we kill them. Mm-hmm. That's the whole story. I did like how they kind of mixed up the crew this time. One guy dies, another one you see early, but he's gone the rest of the movie. And you kind of see more of some of this one than you did in the first one. So, I thought it was story wise, there's not a whole lot there, but
there are a lot of fun moments. I think there's where the first movie, he tried way too hard to write in a lot of seriousness to what should have just been a ridiculous plot. And he was trying to make the story resonant with also this ridiculous nostalgia plot. This time he's not trying that. I mean, he's trying this is an 80s action plot movie. This could have been any Stallone movie or Schwarzenegger movie from the 80s or 90s, really. Right.
Just pick your famous character and insert in script.
Exactly. But the crew, very much the story has done a lot of tightening this time. So where he was talking about the crew of the Expendables, Terry Crews and Randy Couture got a lot more screen time. Dolph Lundgren is given actually quite a few scenes where he's got a personality, not just bad sadness. He seems like a real character this time, not just, a villain who's saved at the end kind of thing. So I thought there was a lot of little touches to the story that weren't in the first one that really brought it up a little bit, but it's still just a man on a mission flick.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You mentioned Dolph, and for me, him and Chuck Norris both basically kind of stole the movie for me. Mm-hmm. I liked what they taught, Dolph Lundgren's character, his backstory, which, if you don't know, is actually very similar to his personal backstory.
Yes. Yeah, that he went to MIT and whatnot.
Right.
Now, what did you think about the acting? I mean, you've got some of probably the greatest thespians of all time are in one collective source.
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch. As far as, Jean-Claude Van Damme as the bad guy really didn't sell me too much as being a baddie. He did have some nice, kicks, so that was pretty cool. But really, I just never felt like he was this big bad villain. The rest of the guys, the rest of the guys were just the rest of the guys. So I really wasn't. I didn't expect much from him.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there because I think you're out of your damn mind. Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Chuck Norris, Lundgren, seriously, and these guys aren't known for acting. They're not. Chuck Norris, I personally think, is the worst actor to ever work in action movies. He got more famous because of the Chuck Norris joke thing, but he's not a good actor. He's fine. He's actually pretty funny in this movie, even though his acting is not great. But Jean-Claude Van Damme, I thought was awesome. I thought he was a great villain. I thought he's exactly... What's that?
I've heard a lot of good stuff about Jean-Claude in this.
Yeah, I don't know what... I mean, except for the fact that when he takes his sunglasses off, he looks about 30 years older than he does with them on, which is kind of odd.
I just didn't... I'm just saying. I just didn't buy it.
Dude, his name was Villain. Hello?
I know.
Struck the
that
fear.
Didn't help matters.
I think there's been a string of really good villains lately, and I think Jean-Claude surprised me the most. I mean, I just thought he was really good. I was impressed. So Brian is out of his damn mind.
Does Chuck Norris do any roundhouse
Just because I
kicks?
disagree with you, I'm the one that's out of my damn mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And also, another actor of note before we move on, Jason Statham. I don't know why he can't be this fun and charming in all of his other movies. Like Jason Statham 12 and 15 and 16, the other movies he makes. He's always so serious and very much comes across, just stoic. These movies, for whatever reason, he is Handsome Rob. He's fun. He's charming. And the best choreographer, the best action guy at choreography that is working today.
He's pretty much the youngest one.
No, well, I don't mean just in this movie. I mean, in guys working in action movies, I think he is fantastic with choreography. There's a scene in this movie where he's basically, he's playing a role in a church and he takes on a bunch of guys in a church. And his choreography in this is just damn near like a dance move. I mean, he's that good. I would put him right next to Jet Li in this movie. I mean, he's that good. And he's also, when he has his scenes, he's funny. He can be charming. He just doesn't seem like the same guy he is in all of his own movies. And I don't know why that is. Whenever he's a supporting player, he's so much more entertaining to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But what'd you think about the production?
It's one of those movies you have to just suspend all belief in these movies. There's a couple of scenes that were fun, that were entertaining, but you just got to kind of roll your eyes like, really? Of course, it's got the crazy mad stunts and the situations, airplanes through a tunnel. Yeah, all right. But as far as the one thing that I guess the one little thing that did kind of bug me was it was filmed digitally. And it's pretty obvious that it was filmed digitally. it just was very grainy, very gritty looking, and it was just really kind of distracting. It really kind of, quote unquote, pulled me out of the movie there a couple of times. But I don't know
Which part was distracting? What pulled you out?
The way that it was filmed. It was really grainy.
You know, I actually, now that you mention it, I kind of thought it was just my theater. Honestly,
Right.
I didn't think it was. I thought it was kind of my theater because it does have, especially in certain scenes like where they're in the mine and at the very beginning, that whole beginning section, which actually was pretty kick-ass. That 20-minute opening scene was fantastic. There's a lot of. I just thought it was some kind of weird filter with the projector or something. I didn't really give it much thought. If that's the case, then it's definitely part of the movie, and it does look kind of odd.
Yeah, some scenes are. I guess it was. I guess what made it really kind of stand out was some scenes are fairly clear. Mm-hmm. But then others are just. It looks like you're looking through a fog or some sort of dust cloud or something. I don't know. It was. Some digital films are fairly gritty or grainy, and I'm okay with that. But I guess because it did kind of seem to flip back and forth. Sometimes it was more clear than others. It was just kind of like it just reminded me every 15, 20 minutes or whatever it was that, oh yeah, hey, there's that grit stuff. So,
well, I thought in this movie everything was bigger, badder, cooler than the first movie, and I really liked the first one. I mean, everybody that knows me knows I'm a fan of the first one. Really liked it for what it was trying to do, but unfortunately, it didn't accomplish a lot of what it was trying to do. It just kind of aimed and missed a little bit. But this film, I thought really took advantage of what it was trying to do, the 80s genre, the 90s genre of all those older action movies where it was just basically big guys go into a room and blow shit up. And that's all you need. And that's what this movie, I mean, shit that shouldn't blow up blows up. Like wheelbarrows, I'm pretty sure blow up in this movie. Farm animals, whatever you come across, everything explodes.
Old rocks and stuff that have been making, that have been used in walls and sides of buildings all of a sudden explode.
Exactly. And letting Simon West take over for Stallone in the directing chair was exactly the right move. It really was. Because I think it freed Stallone up so he could, be a little looser with the character. And also, I mean, not that he's doing any deep acting or anything, but he has more fun with it. And also, you can just tell in the direction that it's a lot tighter than the first one was. So,
Can I ask you guys a question?
You can ask us as many as you want.
All right, because I just watched the first one about a week or two ago, and I enjoyed it, but I wasn't as blown away as you were. And from the way you're describing Expendables 2, it sounds like what I wanted from the original. Are you? Is that?
I would absolutely say that. I think this movie does what the original was trying to do.
Okay.
My opinion. My opinion.
What about you, Ryan? You agree?
I think it took the best parts of the first one and amplified it.
There you go. That's another good way to say it.
Cool.
What's your verdict overall?
I'm giving it a strong 9. Woo-hoo. And quite possibly my third favorite movie of the year. It was just a very fun, check your brain at the door. Don't expect anything deep. Don't expect good acting. Just expect a lot of ass kicking, shit blowing up, things flying, things shooting. A lot of tongue-in-cheek and maybe even not so tongue-in-cheek jokes. Again, to me, Chuck Norris and Dolph Lundgren stole it. His little interaction with Jet Li? Mm-hmm. I thought was great. So I just thought it was overall just a very, very fun movie, and the kind of movie that you go to the theater to see because it is one of those fun rides.
I want to preface that I really like the original film, so take that for what it is. There's a lot of flaws in that original film. There's a lot of things where I think Stallone was trying to do and got wrong, honestly. And also, he didn't have nearly as many icons. I mean, this movie has more icons than the last one did, and the last one had plenty. Mm-hmm. Which you would think, because you would think going to see the movie that just means that half of them aren't going to have anything to do. Not the case. They all seem to have like their own moment, which I'm amazed that they managed to work all that in. Chuck Norris has his moment. Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, all these guys, Terry Crews, Randy Couture, Jet Li, all of them have their moments. Some of them have even more than a couple. I think that there's a lot of big explosions, badass fighting, all the action icons you can want in one movie doing exactly what they were born to do, which is beat someone's ass.
Off.
And also, I disagree with Brian completely. I think Jean-Claude Van Damme owned. I mean, he's not in the movie a lot, but when he's in there, I felt like finally we got a villain. I mean, and I've always liked Jean-Claude Van Damme, so maybe I'm biased. He's got a presence, and I don't think he gets to utilize it much because he's such a bad choice when it comes to picking roles. He just picks horribly. But he's actually, I think, a solid actor. If you ever saw JCVD, you'd know that he has talent. Mm-hmm. And I think he's really good in this. And it's nice to see him back. I hope he does something with it. I don't think he'll ever be an action hero again, but he can play a bunch of villains. So I want to preface this as saying my score is solely based on fun. The movie is dumb. It is not smart. It is not deep. It's extremely predictable. I can tell you the ending of the movie 2 minutes into starting. The acting is exactly what you would expect. Chuck Norris is awful but funny. But it was the most fun I've had in a theater since the first weekend of May. Honest to God. So if $10 is the full price of admission, I give it 9.
Nice.
Wow. All right.
2 9s for a dumbass man blowing shit up movie.
That's what I love about this podcast, though, man. We're not here. We're reviewing movies that are fun to see.
I'm going to give The Artist a 2, and I haven't even seen it. All right, now let's go to Speed Round. That's where we do real quick reviews of anything that's we've previously reviewed or is new to DVD. Justin, you saw Comic-Con Episode 4, A Fan's Hope. What the hell is that?
Yeah, it's a documentary that Cy Sperling put together. It's not a big film. It's about an hour and a half. It's not one that came out to major release, but it's just a documentary about Comic-Con and a little bit of its history, but it's mostly about the people who go to Comic-Con and why they go and what do they expect when they go. And it follows several groups of people, some of whom are artists that want to get their work in front of comic book companies. Some of them are cosplayers who have really put together intricate costumes to do the masquerade that they have. Others are comic book retailers, but it's just a diverse look at all the different people who go, what the experience is like. And it's a bit light, but I enjoyed it. And it's got all sorts of interviews with people like Joss Whedon, who's also one of the producers, Stan Lee and Seth Rogen and Kevin Smith and Eli Roth. I mean, just tons and tons of celebrities, writers of comic books. The only thing about the movie that annoyed me, and it's just the one thing, is several people lamented the fact that Comic-Con is really not about comic books anymore. That it's much more about just the genre and all the art that it produces, mostly now movies. And while I can understand why some people might lament that, the fact is that it has changed, and being angry about it doesn't change anything. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. You either accept it and try and work with it, or you find something else. No, Comic-Con is not about selling comic books anymore. That's a very small part of it, but that is how it started. Don't get mad. Find something else or move on. I cannot stand when older people get mad at the way things are now, as though being angry about it's going to change anything. It's not. Move on. But it's a fun little watch. The only reason I bought it was because it came with an action figure of Joss Whedon.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, no, I have got an action figure of Kevin Smith. I want one of Stephen King, and I've been wanting one of Joss Whedon. This came with one. I had to get it. And I was entertained. It was an hour and a half of just fun. And luckily I've been there. So a lot of the things I saw, I'm like, oh, I've been there. I've seen that. So that familiarity helped. But it's an interesting look. And if you ever want to go, watch this and see if it's something you really think you can deal with for several days. Because it's 100,000 plus people crammed into a convention center. But overall enjoyed it.
That was the saddest reason to buy something ever.
Fuck you! I'm a Joss Whedon. Oh man, he is my master.
An action figure of a director,
of a writer. For me, he will always be a writer.
Is he holding a pen?
Yeah, is he holding a pen?
No, unfortunately, he's got ends up in that damn widescreen kind of director thing. Oh yeah, I wish he had a pen or a typewriter, but fuck it, it's Joss Whedon. It's my figure. Shut the fuck up.
All right. Well, I saw Jaws on Blu-ray, which has been heralded as one of the best transfers of any old film to Blu-ray. So I'll let you know.
Did it come with an action figure of Peter Benchley? Or Steven Spielberg?
Oh, it did not. It did not.
It had a shark in it.
Rip off.
If you guys haven't seen Jaws, it's about a giant shark that terrorizes Amity Island. People get eaten. They need a bigger boat. There you go. The movie itself is really secondary to a lot of what the extras are. There's a lot of things that are included that were in the original DVD release from Universal. There's also a rarely seen documentary called The Shark is Working, which many are praising this as new info. Most of it isn't. I've known most of this. Anything any real Jaws aficionado would know most of this. But it does have Spielberg talking a lot more about the movie than he has in past interviews, so that's very interesting. It's a very good documentary. It's feature length. It's in itself is not worth an upgrade. There is an excellent documentary on the transfer of the film where they painstakingly take the negative of the film and show how they recreated it. I mean, they basically pop colors into things that were long faded. They really spent a lot of money and man hours to make this look the best that it possibly could. So, because I did all this work, I'm calling it. This is the best transfer I've ever seen to Blu-ray of any old movie. Yeah, I mean, the way that whatever they did, the colors, the backgrounds, the shading, the underwater scenes, everything looks better than I've ever seen it. And I've seen this movie since I was a kid. You know, it came out in 1975, I think it was. And if it wasn't for the horribly dated haircuts, I think it would look like a current movie. That's how good they did.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. For a movie made over, 30 years ago, looks fantastic. So if you're a fan of Jaws, this is something you should get. This is an upgrade that's worth getting. Scott Clark, you saw Friends with Kids.
I did see Friends with Kids. It came out on DVD this past couple weeks or so. You guys might remember Aaron reviewed this film a while back and gave it a $9 out of $10.
I sure did.
This piqued my interest quite a bit because, as you know, Aaron's not a huge fan of romantic comedies, and that's a really high score.
I don't like joy.
And you don't like romance?
I don't like romance.
I knew of the premise, which is basically two best friends who decide to have a child together while dating other people. I know, great idea, right? Mm-hmm. So I went into this expecting the cookie-cutter formula I've seen 100 times. What I experienced was really a pleasant surprise. While the film follows so many of the typical nuances of this genre of film, it shines in its overall tone. Each interaction feels genuine and unscripted. Awkward conversations seem as if they weren't orchestrated that way, but just happened. The characters are so believable, it's almost hard to imagine the actors doing multiple takes because each scene feels like it's the first time they said those words. Wasn't it really good? I mean, I don't know if it was improv or not, but they did an excellent job with that. It's extremely charming, funny. It's just the perfect amount of cheese to keep you from losing your lunch. I'm with Aaron. I really enjoyed this a lot much more than I anticipated to. I am giving it $8 out of $10. Simply because rewatchability for me is not one that I'm going to want to revisit, I think. It's hard to say that because I like this movie so much, but it's just one that I don't see watching over and over again. And there were some slower parts that dragged on in some places, but that said, don't miss this movie. It really is worth checking out. It's one of those that really kind of surprised me. It's a nice little gem. All right, now let's go to box office. This week, The Expendables 2 opened to $28.5 million. That's down from the $34 million of the first movie. I think the novelty probably wore off, as well as The Bourne Legacy offered some pretty direct competition, as that dropped to $17 million, and that has $69 million total, which means it'll probably make less than the Matt Damon original a decade ago. So no word yet if that's going to be enough to get a sequel to that, so we'll see what happens. Paranorman opened to $14 million, which isn't bad. It's a family movie. It could have some good legs. Sparkle opened to a, get ready, dull finish with $11.6 million. God. And The Odd Life of Tim Green only managed $10.8 million. So that's that for box office. Now it's time for a little...
All right, fellas, we have got two movies this week that are opening up on August 29th, one that's opening up on the 31st. The first one we're going to be talking about is Lawless. This is a 2012 Prohibition-era gangster film directed by John Hillcoat based on the novel The Wettest County in the World by Matt Bondurant, which was adapted into a screenplay by Nick Cave. It stars Shia LaBeouf, Tom Hardy, Gary Oldman, Mia Wasikowska, Jessica Chastain, Jason Clarke, and Guy Pearce. The film competed for the Palme d'Or at the 2012 Cannes Film Festival, or Cannes, depending on where you live in the world. Three brothers find their bootlegging business under threat in Prohibition era in Franklin County, Virginia, by authorities who want in on their profits. Now, this story is based on Matt Bondurant's grandfather and great uncles. Brian is the only other card-carrying Southerner on this podcast. What do you think? Should this have come with some narration by Waylon Jennings?
Maybe a little soundtrack by Hank Jr. or something.
Yeah. How they get out of this one?
I think this looks like a pretty good movie. Personally, personal Southern allegiances aside and all that stuff. The cast, with the exception of one or two that I've got a personal bias against, I think is great. I love Gary Oldman. Tom Hardy is quickly becoming one of my favorite younger up-and-coming actors. I like Prohibition era stuff, moonshiners, bootleggers.
Of course you do. They're neighbors.
To me, it's a hell of a recipe. So sign me up.
I'm in the minority of people who aren't in the hate camp for Shia LaBeouf. I find him entertaining on screen. I really do. He seems a little off with these other seasoned actors a little bit, but Guy Pearce's performance looks outstanding. I think the couple shots I've seen of him sold me a ticket alone. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited to see this many actors that I like a lot: Chastain, Gary Oldman, Tom Hardy, all in one film. This looks like a lot of fun.
Can I tell you something honestly?
No, lie to us.
Okay.
Nope.
Justin, you're pretty. I really wanted to see this before Shia LaBeouf started talking and giving interviews and everything else. It made me just want to punch him square in the face, because he's turning into one of those artistes where he mocks the people that have made him successful or the films that have made him successful, and kind of turns into one of those arrogant artists where now he's saying blockbuster movies are for, small-minded, and now he's only going to do art films, and he's not doing big budget films anymore. And he's just turned into a guy where I see him and now he's starting to annoy me. Does that make sense to anybody else?
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I mean, I'm kind of with Scott in that I am not in the LaBeouf hate camp, but I am starting to edge that way, and for the exact reason you just mentioned. You can do all the nude Sigur Rós videos you want, Shia. Transformers made your career. Stop biting the hand that fed you.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's turning me off to it. If it wasn't that Tom Hardy and Guy Pearce and whatnot are in it, I would already be done with wanting to see it. But because they're in it, I still have it on my radar. If it gets good reviews, I'll go check it out.
Should we start campaigning for Tom Hardy to be in the Expendables 15?
Absolutely.
Just put him in the third one. He's already made his mark.
There you go. All right. I'm going to try and get through this next one. I can't promise I'm going to make it through, but I will try, because I know that we have listeners who let their children listen to this show, and they would like us to speak respectfully about movies aimed at that demographic. So let me attempt to read this appropriately. The Oogie Loves and the Big Balloon Adventure
Yay!
is a children's film directed by Matthew Diamond, starring Tony Braxton, Christopher Lloyd, settle in, there's a few names here, Chaz Palminteri, Carrie Elwes, Cloris Leachman, Maya Stang, and Jamie Presley? Yeah.
Presley.
Marketed as an interactive film, the film will encourage singing and dancing along in the theater by children and their parents. It sounds like my worst fucking nightmare. Real. Here is the plot. On Luffy's birthday, the Oogie Loves, Gooby, Zuzi, and Toofy, and their friends J. Edgar, Wendy Window, and Ruffy? I'm going to go with Ruffy. I'm going to assume they would name a child Ruffy after a date rape. Ruffy. Work on organizing a party. Everything is going as planned until J. Edgar... Now I'm seeing the character cross-dressing. K. Edgar trips and loses the last 5 magical balloons in all of the lovely Loveville, prompting the Oogie Loves to set out to find the magical balloons in time for the party. Along the way, they meet Dottie Rounder, Bobby Wobbly, Marvin Milkshake, Rosalie Rosebud, and Lola and Lero Sombrero. Oh, dear God.
Pedophile's Paradise.
Oh, God. I think we all know who needs to speak about this film, right?
Yeah.
Aaron?
Yeah.
Are you ready for your big pedo adventure?
Can't wait. I got the ice cream truck already loaded up.
Good Lord.
God. I don't have any interest, obviously. I mean, except for waiting outside, of course.
I'm very confused while we're bringing up this movie. I mean, I know we have kid listeners out there, but this trailer disturbs me for 2 reasons. Number 1.
The fact that you sought it out?
I saw it.
He wants to be informed, bro. I got you, man.
I got to know. Is this what kids find entertaining?
I don't know. I'm hoping not. this type of programming or some of the other shows that I've seen, like when they spoof them on the soup, I don't know what kids are watching or why. When I was a kid, I never would have watched this stuff. Even as a child, I would not have watched this stuff.
Is it popular? Like, is it really popular?
I've never even heard of it.
Popular enough to make a fucking movie?
Good call. Touche.
My second question is, how did anyone talk these actors into attaching their names to this? I mean,
That's a good question.
Kids' movies are notoriously big earners. They cost about $5 to make outside of the salaries, and yet they recoup a lot of money because parents want to take their children to something their children can see, and obviously they're going to be singing and dancing, and nobody else is going to go. So that's kind of a good movie to take them to. But
Yeah, and somebody like Christopher Lloyd has probably got grandkids that know who these characters are. So they're like, hey, I've got the script for some oogie boogie, roofie dealing, cross-dressing kids. Do you want me to do this? Yeah, Grandpa.
With all those names, where does J. Edgar come from?
I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, all right. Well, I think, is there anything more to say about this?
I hope not.
Please no.
Yeah.
All right. To all of our younger listeners, I hope we did not offend.
You really think we have anybody that would see Oogie Loves that listens?
hey, you watch it last time.
Have better taste. Don't watch this shit.
If
There's better. Go watch Neverending Story.
If there's any parents out there that actually their kids are into this, please write us. I would like to know what the appeal is. Sincerely, and I'm not being sarcastic. I'll do that later. But I would like to know what the appeal to the show is because it does not make sense to me. But I respect your choice.
Okay, what's next?
All right, moving on to the last film. This one's coming out August 31st. The Possession's a horror film directed by Ole Bornedal. God, I'm turning into Aaron. And co-produced by Sam Raimi. The story is based on the allegedly haunted Dubuque box. After purchasing an old box at a yard sale, a young girl named M, played by a new actress named Natasha Callister, I'm assuming new, I've never seen her before, she's obsessed with opening it, although her father, played by the fucking awesome Jeffrey Dean Morgan, says it appears to have been designed not to open and begins to exhibit bizarre and violent behavior. Since her parents recently divorced, her initial actions go without much notice, but M's behavior soon becomes more and more extreme. Fearing for their daughter, Clyde and Stephanie Brennick, played by Kara Sedgwick, make various attempts, from brain scans to consulting rabbis, to discover what the supernatural force behind the box is, what it wants, and how to keep it from destroying M. On a side note, Entertainment Weekly a couple weeks ago had an article on this Dubuque box because this film is based on a true story, quote unquote. Just reading the story about the actual box was fucking scary. So now my interest to see this has actually been invigorated. So I'm anyway, it's scary. And as much of a non-believer as I am, I'm like, I would not have that box in my house ever. You cannot pay me to have that thing. Anyway, Scotty, as our fellow fan of horror, is this something you're likely to see?
I am a big fan of horror, and I'm very looking forward to this. We all know that little girls are one of the most horrific things in horror movies, and this movie looks to deliver on that quite a bit on a number of levels. I'm especially looking forward to seeing what Sam Raimi does in his next one. He did obviously Evil Dead, which little dated. More recently, Drag Me to Hell, which was very graphic and really cool, but kind of tongue in cheek. And this looks to be a more serious horror movie that looks genuinely scary as hell. There looks some creepy ass scenes in this movie that I'm all on board to see, especially if coming around Halloween. So
yeah, I read that same article in Entertainment Weekly, and you're absolutely right. That story alone just gave me the heebie-jeebies.
I'm telling you, bro. People get fucked up who get that box.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if the movie can live up to that because that was actually kind of a spooky article. So, but you're right. That I wanted to see it before, just out of curiosity, just because there were some cool images and just a general feel of the movie. But after reading that article, I definitely want to see this movie.
I need to read that article.
It reminds me
from 2, maybe 3 weeks ago.
It reminds me of the old Eddie Murphy joke. Black people go to a house that's haunted. They walk in.
Gotta go, baby.
They walk in a haunted house and they get out. All right, sorry, we gotta go.
Only white people stay in a house haunted.
I'm really excited to see it. It looks really intense. And I had said this. Was it last week when we were talking about The Apparition? I only have room in my soul for one haunted house movie per 6 months or so, and this is the one that I want.
This does look better.
Yeah, this looks much better. So
That's
I will.
Black Soul, man. I think you could fit more in there.
I could. I'm going to go see Paranormal Activity 9 or whatever it is when that comes out. So, but
All right, well, there we go. We've got those 3 films coming out. Again, August 29th, we've got Lawless and the Oogie Loves and the Big Balloon Adventure. And then on August 31st, The Possession. Fellas, which of these 3 films are you most likely to see? Brian, why don't we start with you?
I'm really torn because I really want to see Lawless and The Possession. But because I was freaked out by that article, I'm going to give the edge to The Possession.
Very good. Aaron?
I'm going to go with Oogie Loves because they're singing and dancing.
Because you got an itch and it needs to be scratched.
I'll go with The Possession because, like Scott, I think little girls are annoying.
I didn't say annoying. I said terrifying.
Well, that
horrifying.
too. All of it.
Scotty?
I'm also torn between Lawless and Possession. I got to give the edge to Lawless just because I feel like I get my hopes up too much with another scary movie. Mm-hmm. Lawless looks more solid to me as far as like something I'm definitely going to like. So I'm going to go with Lawless.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and go with The Possession. So it's 3 against 1, dudes. It's a blanket party, and Scott's coming. He is a guest of honor.
I don't even know what that
Blanket
means.
party? What is that?
All right.
You never heard of a blanket party? It's
never-
where we throw a blanket over you and then beat the shit out of you.
Jesus.
I was thinking it was Dutch oven.
Somebody.
That's something completely different.
What's this movie?
Okay, this week on What's This Movie? Each week we play a clip from a movie. This could be our choice or a listener's if you want to suggest one. If you think you know what the clip is, email us at feedback@thehollywoodoutsider.com or send us a direct message on Twitter at @H_outsider. And we will announce those that got it correct on the air, as well as we will draw a name from those that guessed correctly and send them an official I'm a Ho Hollywood Outsider t-shirt. Last week's answer was Brian's choice, and the answer was Milk Money. That was a movie where Melanie Griffith was a hoe. The people that guessed it correctly were Sue S., Princess Mandy, Greg S., Michelle L., Katie M., Ashley S., Sean M., Kira K., Paul S., Ed W., Jesse M., and Kristen D. Scotty, draw a name, brother. The winner is...
Sorry. Greg S.
Greg S. Congratulations, Greg. You win a Hollywood Outsider t-shirt, and you are a hoe. This week, it's Justin's choice. So if you think you know what the answer is, please email us at feedback@thehollywoodoutsider.com for another chance to win, or send us a direct message. Here's your clip.
For example, a decapitated head can continue to see for approximately 20 seconds. So when I have one that's talking, I always hold it up so that it can see its body. It's a little extra I throw in for no added charge.
I must admit it makes me chuckle every time.
If you guys think you know what that clip is, then send us an email at feedback@thehollywoodoutsider.com or send us a direct message on Twitter at H_outsider. We are going to, since we have so much TV to talk about, we're just going to skip TV news this week. And we're going to move on to Did You See That? We actually had a couple of listener-suggested items to review this week, so we're going to start with Scott.
All right, we've got the email came from one of our favorite listeners, Ashley. She sent us an email that said, "Hey guys, so religious. I do admit that yes, Bill Maher is an atheist, and it's very apparent in the film, but my interpretation was that he is investigating organized religion specifically, not faith in general. I don't think he was trying to disapprove people's faith, more trying to get people to realize that, as he sees it, the many shortcomings of organized religion and not to just follow blindly, but rather to question things. Recently I saw a documentary called For the Bible Tells Me So. It is somewhat in the same vein, but talks specifically about the church's belief on homosexuality. I think it keeps a wonderfully open mind and interviews all sorts of people so you aren't getting just one point of view. It delves into what the Bible actually says about homosexuality and the context in which it is written. If you like religious, you will love this one, and it happens to be streaming currently. Check it out." Well, thanks for the email, Ashley. We really do appreciate it, and I want to let you know, you definitely got me. He is definitely talking about organized religion, not necessarily faith. And I wanted to let you know also, I actually did check out the documentary you recommended this week, For the Bible Tells Me So. Really interesting, a much more tactful approach to the subject, and I found it very interesting, and I actually learned a lot from it, specifically, like you said, what the Bible says specifically about it, and I found it very interesting. So
About homosexuality or just faith in general?
Homosexuality, actually.
So you learned a lot about yourself?
Yes.
That was too easy. Too easy.
So thanks for the email, Ashley. I do appreciate it.
What is so special about this documentary?
Like I said, it's not an attacking approach. It's not taking, like, Bill Maher is obviously out to ruffle some feathers, and this one is kind of goes into it with a little bit more open mind. Bill Maher obviously had an agenda when he was going into it, and you can tell that the filmmakers in this documentary went into it, wanted to try to understand it. It's obviously still leaning. You can't do a documentary without having some bias. It's impossible. So it definitely is going some way, but it's taking different approaches from people of faith, people that are against it, that are for it, and it's a much better approach, I think. It's not as entertaining of an approach, but it's definitely worth checking out.
All right. Well, thanks, Ashley. Now we go to Here Comes Honey Boo Boo with Justin and Brian.
Yeah. This is from Katie M. She says, hello all. So Justin chatted about Duck Dynasty on this week's episode, and I was wondering if anyone on the podcast had seen the reality show Here Come Honey Boo Boo on TLC. It'll make you laugh and weep for humanity at the same time. I would love to hear someone give a review on it. I saw it for the first time myself over the weekend, and I couldn't take my eyes off it, like a bad car crash. The show has been trending often on Twitter, so it appears Honey Boo Boo, and she spelled it with a capital H-O, for the hose.
God bless her.
Honey Boo Boo is already a huge star.
Honey Boo.
Honey Boo Boo. Yeah, Brian and I both saw it. My wife had been watching it. I love my wife. She is an extremely intelligent woman. I mean, she's got a bachelor's in anthropology. She's an AVP. She's quite intelligent, yet she constantly falls prey to these shows. The Toddlers and Tiaras, the Dance Moms, those sorts of just bad, what I would consider bad TV. And she's now watching this one. So when I told her about this email coming in, she said, all right, well, you're going to sit down. You're going to watch it with me. And I sat down and watched a couple of episodes with her. And I enjoyed the episode. I kind of hate that I did, because I hate this celebration of ignorant kind of people, but they're not being exploited. They understand exactly who they are, and they sometimes play up to it quite a bit. They know that they're redneck, kind of low class and quite ignorant, and they don't have any illusions about it. So in that vein, they're not being exploited. I'm okay with it. It is actually quite funny. I will probably just watch it with my wife whenever it comes on, but it's not one of those shows that I'm going to put on my list to record every week. It's just catching it if she's around.
Yeah, like Katie said, it is like watching a bad car crash. I feel like it is somewhat exploitive, but the other side of that coin is you really understand that this whole family, and there's 8 of them, I think, or 6 or 7 or 8, including a little potbelly pig. But you can tell that they really love each other, and they have such a great time just being with each other, and that is something I think probably gets overlooked somewhat. They are God help them, bless their heart. They are ignorant, and I don't mean that in a necessarily a bad connotation. Just ignorant in the sense that they haven't been exposed to the rest of the world.
Kind of like an ignorance is bliss kind
Not
of
like
way,
the rest of the world has been exposed to them.
It sounds like Walmart, the TV series.
Funny enough, the town that they live in is really only about 2, maybe 2.5 hours up the road from me.
Maybe you could go by and take some pictures.
Yeah. So.
And for those who don't know, when a Southerner says "bless your heart," it usually means you are so dumb.
That's true.
We're just trying to be nice about it.
Exactly.
All right, let's go on to DVD and Blu-ray.
All right, we're looking at the releases on DVD and Blu-ray for August 28th. First, in Think Like a Man, 4 friends conspire to turn the tables on their women when they discover the ladies have been using Steve Harvey's relationship advice against them. This does star Kevin Hart. Also, based on the board game of the same name, Battleship tells the story of a fleet of ships that is forced to do battle with an armada of unknown origins in order to discover and thwart their destructive goals. Spoiler alert, they're aliens. These sucked. The reviews for both of these movies were on previous episodes, as well as our YouTube channel at The Hollywood Outsider. Just a quick recap. Think Like a Man got a $6.50 out of $10 from Aaron, as well as Battleship got a $7 out of $10 from Justin and Aaron, while I got a $5 out of $10 from me. Also,
Hater.
was going to say, Taylor Kitsch is not my man. The Lucky One. This is based on the Nicholas Sparks novel, who's most known for The Notebook. This one's about a Marine who travels to Louisiana after serving 3 tours in Iraq and searches for the unknown woman he believes was his good luck charm during the war.
That's the Stalker movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Kids and fans of claymation will be happy to know that The Pirates, Band of Misfits also hits DVD this week, as well as The Moth Diaries, the drama about 3 girls in a boarding school fighting for each other's affections. Also, several TV series are released this week. Homeland Season 1, which I believe Brian was a big fan of. Boardwalk Empire Season 2. Once Upon a Time Season 1. Sons of Anarchy Season 4. And finally, Walking Dead Season 2, which one I'll definitely be checking out. And a lot more that we don't really care about.
Exactly.
Ooh, yeah. Hit me with that unknown shit. Flashback.
All right, with that, we'll move on to our Flashback DVD Blu-ray section. This is where each week one of our hosts recommends a little known or obscure film that we hope the rest of us will give a chance. This week it's Aaron's turn. So, Aaron, what movie do you have for us?
Well, we talked about The Expendables 2 and how wrong Brian was about Jean-Claude Van Damme's performance. So I thought I would bring up a Jean-Claude Van Damme classic, in my opinion, that nobody saw, which makes it just a classic in my own mind. And it's called Nowhere to Run. Nowhere to Run, Jean-Claude Van Damme, it's from 1993. He plays Sam, an escaped convict who ends up being taken in by an attractive widow, because you don't find ugly widows that take in handsome escaped convicts. Played by Rosanna Arquette. Her name is Clyde. She's got 2 kids. I swear to God, one of the kids' name is Mookie. That's what he goes by. It sounds pretty racist, but he's a white kid. And Bree. Mookie's played by young Kieran Culkin. You guys know who that is now. I mean, he's becoming a prominent actor now. Yeah.
Of the Culkins.
Yes. Well, of course, some crazy land developer wants Clyde's land, and Sam is there to help save her family and her land. Thank goodness. He ends up bonding with Mookie, and it's actually kind of sweet. The land developer's violent right-hand man is played by Ted Levine, by the way, who does a great job as a villain in this movie. And you might remember him as the guy that puts the lotion in the basket in Silence of the Lambs. So why do I love it? I think it's Van Damme's best role. I think he's done, even JCVD was a great role for him. I really like this as an action movie and really showcasing what he does and what he does best. He has a very good talent for being quiet and charming and sweet, which most people don't remember because all they remember is the scissor kicks and the ass bum splits or whatever. But he had a lot of really good roles, and this is my favorite role of his. I think he did a solid job. The relationship with him and Mookie was very genuine, very sweet. The action was very solid, and I really thought this was more like a drama than it was an action movie. And the way it ended was not what most people expect for an action movie of that time's ending. So, for me, that's why I brought it up. It's a really interesting film.
Did he tear out the land developer's henchman's throat next to the lake?
He did not.
A la Roadhouse?
He did not.
Because that's how you handle henchmen. 3 fingers to the throat.
Yeah, I mean, I'll echo your sentiment about Jean-Claude. And because I really felt the way he emotionally connected with Dennis Rodman in Double Team or whatever that crappy movie was absolutely just phenomenal and Oscar quality.
Give Nowhere to Run a chance; it's worth it. All right, real quick before we go into our fall TV preview.
What a salesman!
It's worth it. Brian's wrong; he's dumb. As some of you are well aware, our own Justin McCumber is an accomplished author. You would think so because of how long he talks. Well, now he's learned how to put those into words on a paper, and he's made a whole book. We haven't run it in a while. So before we go on to this week's topic, we're going to take a listen to the promo for his new book, Haywire. Here you go.
When the aliens known as the Hezron invaded our solar system, we were defenseless against them. But from the mind of a mad genius came our salvation. The Titans. Super soldiers encased in nanotech armor with the strength to tear starships in half. They not only repelled the alien invaders, but vowed to chase them across the galaxy until the Hezron were destroyed. That was 100 years ago. Now, finally, the Titans have returned, but they've been infected by a virus that's driven them insane, compelling them to destroy everything they'd fought so long and hard to protect. Haywire is a science fiction novel written by Justin R. McCumber and published by Griffinwood Press. It's available in print and ebook formats from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, and the iBook Store. To learn more, go to justinmccumber.com.
Let's go back and get our Stump the HO answer real quick. Brian, why don't you correct your dumb ass?
All right, got a little bit of a clarification here. I kind of misled you a little bit. The question was...
You flat out lied.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
The question I had was how old is Chuck Norris? 60, 65, 70, or 75? What I meant to ask was, to which of these numbers is he closest to? 60, 65, 70, 75. Every single one of you guys said 75.
Mm-hmm.
And he is actually closer to 70 years old.
Really?
So he is actually 72 years old, March 10th, 1940. So he is actually 72. You were close. You did say 73. And you did stick by your answer, which would put you...
Brian, no, dig this in. After all the shit he was throwing at you?
I don't really think when he can't even ask a question correctly.
I did clarify the question. I did give you an opportunity to change your answer, and you still stuck by it because if I'm understanding the quote correctly, you're right. You said, "I'm right."
Aaron fucks me again.
I believe that's what it said. Yes, I still think you're wrong. All right.
Well, according to IMDb, now
what is Aaron, a birther?
Yeah.
I need to see the certificate.
I'm going to Hawaii and getting his certificate.
All right, for bonus points, do you know what his real first name is?
Charles.
Francis.
I think Marion.
Nope.
What?
That's fucking the dude.
John Wayne. I don't know. What is it?
Carlos.
Carlos?
Is he Mexican?
Carlos Ray Norris.
Yeah,
he looks like a Carlos.
He's part Hispanic. He is. He strikes me as a huge Hispanic. That's why he was a Texas Ranger.
I want to see his birth certificate.
All right. Now let's go into From the Outside In. Each week we talk about a topic that's on ours, our listeners' minds. Well, this week we're looking at the TV season, the upcoming TV season. A lot of the new shows come out this time of year or early in January, which is known as mid-season. So we're going to talk about some of our favorite shows. And basically I'm just going to name off what the shows are, and then the people that are most looking forward to them can take it from there. 666 Park Avenue is the first one. Justin, what is that?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. It premieres September 30th. It's on ABC. It stars Terry O'Quinn, who everybody should remember as Locke from Lost. And it also has Vanessa Williams from Desperate Housewives. The short description says, combine the eeriness of Lost with the ruthlessness of Desperate Housewives, and you get this adaptation of Gabrielle Pierce's book series. A melting pot of ABC alums, a supernatural drama, stars a bunch of people. As a Midwestern couple who get hired as resident managers of the Drake, a Tony Upper East Side apartment building. I don't quite know what Tony means, but anyway, it's a beautiful apartment owned by Terry O'Quinn and Vanessa Williams. The catch is that the residents have all made deals with the devil to have their deepest desires fulfilled. And I'm a huge Terry O'Quinn fan. I like Vanessa Williams. It's got a supernatural bent. I'm really kind of hyped to see what they do with this. I loved American Horror Story. I know this isn't going to be anything like that, but the fact that these kind of genre shows are still coming on makes me happy.
It's like Fantasy Island in hell.
Kinda, yeah.
I can't wait for this.
It does sound interesting.
It sounds really exciting. Last Resort, Scotty.
Last Resort is going to be an ABC show. It follows a renegade crew of a nuclear submarine led by Andre. Is it Brower? Is that pronounced correctly?
Yeah.
He goes on the run they go on the run after defying an order to fire nuclear missiles. They find sanctuary at a NATO base where they declare themselves the world's smallest nuclear nation. I might have mentioned this before, but The Hunt for October is one of my all-time favorite movies, and although this reeks a bit more of Crimson Tide than that film, I'm really intrigued by this concept, and it looks to have a lot of promise. I like the idea of this type of story being told over a mini-series instead of a 2-hour film. I think it's got a lot of intrigue, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, Sean Ryan is one of the creative people behind it.
Ooh, The Shield.
Yep.
I saw the trailer in the theater. They actually had a trailer for this in the theater.
Oh, really?
It looks really intense.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell if Andre Brower is crazy or if he's justified. That's kind of where...
That's a different show.
That's a good one, too. Red Widow, Brian. What is that? I've never even heard of that one.
Well, it's one that's... a couple of mine, actually, pretty much all of these that I've got are mid-season. So they'll probably won't show up until the end of this year, or even January.
Brian realizes that he's going to be watching football for the next 3 months, so he doesn't want to have that taken up with any actual TV watching.
Hey, look, it's in the lineup with all the other fall shows, so I just go down the list and pick what interests me. But this has got Radha Mitchell, who we talked about recently with the Silent Hill movies. Mm-hmm. She plays a woman who's basically married to the mob. She's been trying to get her husband to get out so they can move away and live a life without all that fear of violence and all this stuff. She's been hitting him, just let's get out, let's get out, let's get out. Her husband is actually played by the guy, Anson Mount. He's the guy from Hell on Wheels on AMC.
Ooh.
So basically, as usually is the case, the last job that he does goes south and her husband's murdered, which probably explains the way he's free to go back into his other show. Anyway, she's pretty well versed in organized crime since her father is a mob boss also. But, she's also suspicious of her husband's business partners, which includes her shady brother. And to protect her kids and get out of the mob, she ends up taking on the mob and the FBI to kind of find out the truth of what really happened to her husband and why and he was murdered and who did it and all that stuff. But it actually airs sometime early 2013 on ABC. But it's the stuff I'm seeing about it looks pretty good.
It sounds like your kind of show, Brian. Really it does.
Is that a dig at
I'm
me
sure
or
if you were
something?
digging at him.
Yeah, I was like,
No, you like the
thank
guy.
you or
You're
or
a huge
thank you. Wasn't
fan of
sure.
The Godfather, dumbass, and I thought that you might like that kind of show. That's what I meant.
Well, Aaron, you never know what hand
exactly.
that word's coming from. Love or hate.
Okay, Elementary. That is my first pick. That's on CBS. It airs on September 27th at 9 p.m. Central Time. Johnny Lee Miller stars as Sherlock Holmes, and Lucy Liu is playing Watson in modern-day New York City. I love the BBC show. I think it's a great show. I think they do well enough with the modern-day Sherlock that you don't really need another show, but since most people here have never seen that, I'm interested to see what they do with it, and I love the character more than I love anything, so I'll watch anything that comes out with Sherlock Holmes. So I will watch it. I'm hoping for the best. I don't foresee the best.
How do you feel about? Isn't he like a drunk in this one?
Well, that's part of the character, actually. I mean, he was a drug addict, so
okay.
I'm okay with that. I mean, you want to stay true to Sherlock Holmes, make him addicted to something, because that's really who his character is. Lucy Liu makes me nervous because it's not.
She's Lucy Liu.
Well, she doesn't strike me as somebody who can pull off a Watson.
Yeah.
But I'm more than willing to give it a chance. So
when I think Watson, I always think like straight laced, tighten your tie kind of guy.
It's just I don't know.
Well, from the previews, she looks pretty straight laced. He's the eccentric guy that's just all over the place. And I will say, I kind of fought this when we first heard about it, and I wasn't too keen on it. I'm not a big Lucy Liu fan. I do like a few things she's done, but for the most part, I could just do without her. Mm-hmm. But I do like Johnny Lee Miller. So I said, all right, well, then the first couple of previews I've seen, to me, it looks pretty good just in the show itself. But again, I'm not the homer that you are about Sherlock Holmes. So for me, it's just a matter of, does this show look interesting? And I say, yeah.
Okay. Arrow, Justin.
Yeah, of course, this one's going to be my pick. I'm the Smallville guy. This is not a spinoff of Smallville, in case anyone's under any misunderstandings. This is a show about the Green Arrow on the CW, but it is not a carryover of that character from Smallville. This one looks like it's got a lot darker edge to it than Smallville ever had. And TV Guide actually gave this one of their editors' picks, which kind of ups my hype a little bit. I'm looking forward to seeing it, but the basic gist of the story is that Oliver Queen is a young, rich boy. He goes on vacation with his father and his girlfriend's sister. Boating accident. They die. He gets lost on an island for 5 years. Somehow learns how to shoot a bow real good, and then comes back home to take vengeance on his father's enemies as the Green Arrow. I liked the little preview that I'd seen of it. I really cannot wait to see this.
I want to see that too. That looks really good. I was telling Justin I really liked the ad, and he automatically said, "You mean you like a shirtless guy with arrows?" Because that's what the poster looks like.
It's definitely the year of the bow, isn't it? Between Hunger Games and this, and
it is.
Yeah.
It is. Apparently, people don't have guns anymore. Scott, 0 Hour. What the hell is that?
All right, this is ABC as well. 0 Hour revolves around a bizarre twist of fate that pulls a man who spent 20 years as the editor of a skeptics magazine into one of the most compelling conspiracies in human history. definitely want to check the trailer out for this one because there seems to be a lot of moving parts. And when I watched this trailer, I couldn't help but be reminiscent of The Da Vinci Code and National Treasure as far as on movies. I know those aren't TV shows, but to me, both of those movies had fun concepts but were difficult to put together in a 2-hour feature. The idea of having puzzles and possible supernatural conspiracies over the course of a miniseries sounds a lot more appealing to me after the disappointments of those two films. It looks to be something that will draw me into the story and keep me wanting to come back each week. So I'm very intrigued by the series, and I will definitely be watching this one.
0 Hour. I haven't seen the trailer. I have to watch that. It
looks like it could be disappointing. Like it could just be like a come on kind of thing. But it has the puzzles.
Oh wait, no, I know which one you're talking about now. Okay,
it's kind of Anthony Edwards from ER, Dr. Green.
Yeah, it's like they have to find these clocks before the bad guys do, which sounds like a really bad.
Okay, I've seen it now. That looks really good. Okay, Hannibal. Brian, what's that about?
Put the lotion in the basket.
It's about this guy with a bunch of elephants going to Rome. So, no, just kidding. All right, it's a prequel of.
That was a high-minded one. Very good.
Oh, high five!
History for the win.
Oh man, Hannibal's a prequel of sorts to the Hannibal Lecter movies that follows Will Graham. He's an FBI profiler who's on the hunt for this serial killer. And basically he employs this brilliant psychiatrist, Hannibal Lecter, who's basically, he's only known as a serial killer to the audience. And basically, so Will employs him gets him to assist, and they grow into this formidable villain hunting team duo. So unfortunately, Will, like I said, doesn't know exactly who he's working with. And I guess I'm sure that's part of the drama that they'll play up. So again, it's another mid-season show. I'm expecting it probably early 2013.
That's NBC, right? Did you say that?
Yeah, NBC.
Okay, my next pick is Vegas. And you know why I picked it? Because Dennis fucking Quaid is in it. That's why. And it's going to be on CBS on September 25th, 9 p.m. Central Time. He stars in 1960 Vegas as a rancher-turned-sheriff who goes up against a powerful gangsta played by Michael Chiklis. Now, there's two things in this that you really need to pay attention to. Dennis and Quaid. As long as he's in it, I'm going to watch it. That's all you need to know. Justin, Revolution.
Revolution's a new show by NBC. Premieres on September 17th at 9 p.m. Central. Created by two of my favorite TV producers right now, J.J. Abrams and Eric Kripke. It's set in a post-apocalyptic future where there's no electricity, and the series stars Elizabeth Mitchell, Billy Burke, Giancarlo Esposito. I'm not quite sure who he is, but I think Billy Burke, didn't he play the dad on the Twilight movies?
Yeah, and Giancarlo Esposito, he was
Gus, right?
Oh, Gus, yeah, from Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay. Anyway, these guys play a group of people struggling to figure out how the technology vanished and who holds the figurative power among the survivors. It's post-apocalyptic. It's J.J. Abrams, Eric Kripke. I don't see how this thing can go wrong. I'm sure somehow it will, but my fingers are crossed. I'm hoping this will be one of the best new shows of the season. And again, TV Guide, editor's pick. They're agreeing with me. It shows their good taste.
I want to see this, but it looked just like Hunger Games done for TV.
That doesn't sound
I
like
didn't
a bad
see any
thing.
bow and arrows.
You didn't see the crossbow, the girl with the crossbow. That was all in those previews.
That's different. That's a crossbow.
That's a crossbow. That's way different than a bow and arrow.
I'm really anxious about it, and if the previews, I hope the show is not filmed in the way that the previews were done, because it looked absolutely ridiculously fake and absolutely horrible.
But you look fake and you look horrible. So,
but I'm sexy. It don't matter if I look fake and horrible. It's just sexiness.
And you know it.
Sexiness.
I'm kind of with Brian. I want to see it based on the people behind it, not so much because of what I saw. So
I'm with Justin. I love the concept. I love anything post-apocalyptic anyway, and so many people involved that have done things that I absolutely love. I'm on board. I can't wait.
Okay. The following, that's the last one we have, and that's Brian.
Yeah, the notorious serial killer, I'm kind of sensing a theme here. Joe Carroll is saved from death row and begins a killing spree. So how could he do this since he's still in prison? He's been building a network of serial killers to do the work for him. So, as you might expect, the FBI is involved and has asked the help of Ryan Hardy, who's played by Kevin Bacon, to consult for the case. Hardy was the former FBI agent who put Carol away about 9 years ago, but now he's kind of a broken man, so he kind of sees this case as sort of a redemption for him. The pressure gets a lot more intense, though, when Hardy realizes that the convicted killer, Joe Carroll, aims to finish what he started and has his network of psychopaths kidnap his last intended victim from 9 years ago. This, like I said, it's got Kevin Bacon, the kid that played Iceman in the X-Men movies. Mm-hmm. He plays in it also. A couple other people I recognize their faces but couldn't really place them. But the following will be on Fox again, starting sometime later on this fall.
Sweet. I can't wait for them to cancel it 2 weeks later.
Exactly. It'll get probably 6 or 7 episodes into it where I'm hooked, and then I'll go, you know what? There ain't but about 12 people watching this.
Well, those are our picks of the most anticipated shows. I'm sure there's a lot of new old people solving crime shows and really bad comedies with a bunch of babies. There's a lot of that stuff, but these are the ones that we want to see. So take it for what you will. We tried to give you the dates if we have them. If there's anything that you guys are looking forward to we didn't talk about, and then we think we should know about it, send us an email. We'll talk about it. Returning shows. We each had a couple shows that we're looking forward to the most. Mine real quick. Sons of Anarchy comes back September 11th. I can't wait. And Walking Dead comes back on October 14th. Those are the two that I am most looking forward to. And Sons of Anarchy, I've seen some clips and trailers, and it looks freaking awesome. So
I caught up on that, too.
Yep. Scotty, what are you looking forward to?
No surprise. Big Bang Theory and How I Met Your Mother. I love those shows, and I will watch those religiously to this day. So
sweet. Brian?
I'm going with a couple of cable shows. One on HBO, Boardwalk Empire. Mm-hmm. It's Sopranos type mob stuff, Prohibition era. Very interesting, deep characters. If you like Michael Shannon, he's fantastic in this. And it's also all these, like I said, all these interesting characters, and they're kind of woven in with actual historical ones, like a young Al Capone. It's on HBO, and it kicks off September 16th.
Justine?
We already mentioned Sons of Anarchy. I love that show. I can't wait to see that one come back. But for me, the real big attraction that's coming up is the final season of Fringe. I love this show. I cannot believe Fox gave it more seasons, even though it's doing terribly in the ratings. They're letting the writers finish the show off the way they want to. I cannot wait to see how they end this thing. Fringe is a fantastic show, criminally underwatched.
Ooh, excellent. Well, that's what we have. So let's go to the closing where we read off any emails. Justin, you go first.
All right, well, this first one is from Paul Showalter. He says, have no clue what the answer is. The only movie that pops up to me is Milk Money, where those kids hire a prostitute to strip, and then the dad thinks she is a tutor or something. Still working my way through the backlog. It's pretty cool to see where you guys have come from. Not sure if you switched recording software or just better mics. Well, not by this show. But up until episode 6, the sound quality seemed not quite as good. Keep up the great work, guys. Also, it seems I was born to be a fan because I put the hoe in Showalter.
That's awesome.
Bam.
And if you're listening to this episode, if it sounds smooth, then it's amazing. Because
it is a miracle. Internet gods have been so mad at us.
Because there's roughly, if we're keeping count, about 60 edits. So Paul, there's a lot of work that goes into that nice audio you hear now.
I think it's referring more to the quality, because you go back to some of those.
They were awful.
Yeah.
Well, you also didn't have me on all of them, and that's going to just dip the quality right there.
Jesus Christ.
I don't mean content quality. I mean actual production quality.
Oh, well.
Yeah, the show really started taking a dip down when Justin joined, really. Okay, Brian, what's next?
All right, this next one is from Kiara K. She says, hi, I think the clip is from Milk Money. I've been listening to the show for a few months now, and you guys always make me laugh. Thanks for putting it together. Thank you for listening, Kiara.
I've got a couple quick ones. This week's quote was an excellent one. I actually forgot the title, but I knew the movie as soon as I heard Melanie Griffith's voice, Milk Money. And then he says, why doesn't everyone pool their money and get a, and I assume he means hooker. That's Sean M.
I assume he meant hoe.
Exactly.
Because my wife would leave me.
Oh, that's a good reason.
And I like being a kept man, so thank you.
The next one is the answer is Milk Money. Woot woot. Thanks for another hilarious podcast, Greg S. Greg's going to be even much happier because he got himself a shirt. So, Scott?
What I think is really funny is that when we played last week's clip, Aaron said nobody's going to know this freaking movie.
I did say that. Actually, I said that there's no way anybody's going to.
This is what the flood.
and this is the most response we've got from any What's This Movie clip.
No, it's not, but it's quite a bit. We get a lot of wrong responses. You'd be amazed.
This one comes from Michelle L., and she says, for a second time, I believe I know the answer to your What's This Movie clip. The answer is Milk Money. In addition, your opinions of Red Dawn is spot on and completely correct. Changing the villains to North Korea was about as smart as making Ace Ventura Pet Detective Jr. Thanks for all the hours of fun and laughs, Michelle L.
Thanks, Michelle. And also we had one more that popped in at the last minute. I hope I'm not too late for this week's movie. It's Milk Money. You weren't. You got in, so thank you. And says, thanks, y'all. I love the show, Kristen D. Thank you, too, Kristen, for listening.
We have a lot of lady love.
We do. We have a lot of female listeners, and we appreciate that.
That's awesome.
This is a tweet, twat.
We're just lost them.
Yep, there they go.
And we also got a tweet from Mandy Baby that says, listening to your podcast, and I must say you need a girl's insight, a girl's thoughts on Bourne, and you are too different. We wanted to let you know that Scott is our female perspective.
Wait a minute.
And he does a wonderful job. If you heard earlier, he was talking about how he loves romantic comedies, curling up to a nice blanket on a Sunday afternoon in the rain and just weeping his eyes out. So trust me, we got that base covered. Don't we, Scott?
We do. And thanks for the follow there, Mandy.
You can always find us on thehollywoodoutsider.com. That's thehollywoodoutsider.com. Facebook.com/thehollywoodoutsider. You can email us any thoughts or topic ideas, or you just want to curse us out at feedback@thehollywoodoutsider.com. Please tell your friends, subscribe on iTunes, Zoom, Google, listen on your Stitcher radio app. Give us a thumbs up if you do, or any plain old RSS feed. We are also on RockfordCollegeRadio.com Thursdays from 4 to 6. Please tune in there. I want to thank our podcasters, Brian Williams. Thanks, B.
Bless your heart.
He's available on Twitter at BrianWMS. Justin McCumber, I think you've got enough plugs this week.
Is it over?
Thanks for being here, Justin. He hosts the Dead Robot Society. It's a weekly podcast for writers, available at deadrobotsociety.com. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
We're just dying to end this. At this point, it's been a cluster.
If I were a vampire, I would jump on the stake.
I really hope
leap into the sun.
I hope it sounds clear and good, because man, it's just been internet connections problems and Scott Clark. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Insert witty comment here. I got nothing.
Well, that's par for the course.
Thanks for having me.
He's on Twitter at Scotty Lindsay, but he's never on Twitter, so it's okay.
I am now. I got a new follower.
Hey, now he's got 8. Next week, be sure to come back. We're going to be reviewing Premium Rush and a movie that's coming out soon, VHS, as well as a new topic and more on the next Hollywood Outsider. So the next time you go to a theater, from all of us, buy popcorn.
He says people love it. I told him they were lying to him.
Yeah, it's like when your wife says, no, you're big enough. It's all lies, dude.
Right.
No, I never fake it. Lies, motherfucker.
It's like when your mom tells you you're handsome.
Mm-hmm. No, you can sing. Sing like an angel. That bitch is lying, too.
Well, I guess we're doing it without the Southerner.
No, you still got me. I just don't sound as Southern. I could try and, dig down deep if you need me to.
And right now, I think he's typing a memoir.
Why I Hate Aaron Peterson.
We ain't got that kind of time, dude.
Volume 1. His face. It's fucking ugly. I want to punch him in his fucking nose.
Volume 2. He's not nearly as funny as he thinks he is. And he does very
bad. Be impersonating Sylvester Stallone.
He does very bad impressions.
The worst.
You there, Brian?
Yeah.
Justin, are you still there?
Suey?
Yeah, Boomhauer.
I
was gonna say he just talks a little faster. That's about it.
Oh man, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Come on, man. Let's get this thing started, because otherwise we're gonna be here all night, man. Come on.
This is a Hollywood Outsider, and they're fucking.
An inner fucking.
That's the quickest fucking ever.
Inner fucking out and fucking.
Okay, here we go.
Is that the sequel to the Dennis Quaid Inner Space?
It is.
I just see this huge cock coming back and forth in 3D.
It's coming, literally.
It's going. It's coming again.
It's like the Star
it looks
Wars.
like the fucking sandworm out of Dune.
I was gonna say it's like the Millennium Falcon coming out of that cave.
Yeah.
This is the Hollywood Outsider, a weekly entertainment podcast where this week we are reviewing the Expendables 2. We're going to look at upcoming releases, including Lawless and The Possession. God damn it.
Scott, are you tickling his balls?
No.